there.
Oh, hi, little guy. You're so big.
Yep, see the heartbeat right there.
I can see his little arm buds.
Yeah,
Little
arms right
hands.
there.
Little
Legs
feetsies.
right there. Umbilical cord right there.
Oh,
There you
they'll
go.
be so excited. I'm so excited for them.
Your due date's 12/27.
Correct.
Yeah.
Look at his little head. It's not
Yeah,
little.
big ol' head.
Big head.
It's the biggest thing.
That's exciting. I sent this.
Alright guys, so I have officially graduated to my OB's office. I'm really excited about that. I am at my very first obstetrician appointment. It's with Dr. Cord Strebel and Dr. Matthew Crowley's office, Wasson Central in Las Vegas. I work with these guys and I just love everything about them. They're awesome. Their whole office is awesome. They're very evidence-based practice where they actually I don't know how to describe it. They actually follow the guidelines where the studies have shown that this is actually best practice. They have a fantastic bedside manner, and they are just overall awesome docs. Like I told them when I started this that they were the people, they were the guys, because I knew they would keep me safe, they would keep babies safe, they would keep me out of the OR, and that's absolutely necessary. So I'm real excited to be here. I'm really nervous because I work with them and I have no desire to show either of them any part of my girly bits. So I'm real nervous about it, but I guess I'm gonna have to get over that. It's always hard to know that your coworkers are gonna see your private areas. I mean, it's hard for anybody other than your husband to see your private areas. I mean, don't get me wrong, but it's even more awkward, I think, or at least it is for me when I work with them. So I'm here. I'm a little sad that, you know, I couldn't share this with the parents, which stinks, but I'll send her an update today after we're all finished and go from there. So, yay. Good morning, everyone. Hi. Okay, so I went to my regular doctor yesterday, Dr. Crowley, like I said. I sat and talked to him for a while because I did have some questions, and it was great. We didn't really do much. It was more of a formality. And I figured that might be, excuse me, I have horrendous indigestion, and it just causes the worst gas coming up all the time. So I'm so sorry for burping all the time. He did give me something for it, so hopefully I'll start feeling better. Yesterday was kind of more of a formality, and that's what I thought it would be, as we've basically done everything that you would normally do in a regular pregnancy. There was no need for vaginal ultrasound because, as I told him, we've had so many at this point. I'm worried the kid's gonna come out with like an extra arm or something. I mean, we've done so many just to check lining and growth and heartbeat confirmation and, you know, everything. So he got all my records, and he said everything looks good. So he said we'll just keep doing what we're doing. I'm gonna be real honest, I have not been taking a prenatal up until this point, mostly because I haven't really been able to poop very well. It seems like the progesterone injections after pregnancy was confirmed. So once the embryo attached and the pregnancy hormones intrinsically, like for me, started taking over, plus the added hormones that I was getting to support the pregnancy from the external sources, made it almost impossible to go poop. And when I was taking the prenatals, it was painful. There was no movement, and that's just the extra iron in them. So I have not been taking my prenatals, and he gave me something for that as well. The symptoms of that seem to have gotten less, and it has been working easier since I've stopped the progesterone injections. So he gave me some, I think he said Miralax is what he gave me. It's a powder. I asked if I could take Colace. He said it doesn't really work, even though it's used a whole lot. So he gave me the Miralax just to help me go to the bathroom again. And he said it will also start moving better when I can start drinking water, because as of right now, because of the indigestion feeling, it's not really indigestion. Like, I don't feel like my stomach's upset. It's like, I call it stomach burn. I think I've mentioned it before. I call it stomach burn. It legit feels like I have a small volcano living in my stomach. It's horrible. I didn't have that with my other pregnancies. I had morning sickness with my last one real bad. And, you know, I got medication for it. The morning sickness, the nausea feeling has gone away since the progesterone has been stopped. I don't think I've had any symptoms of that in the last 2 days since I've stopped medications. And, I feel way better in that department, but the stomach burn acid feeling is just god awful, and I can't drink water because of it, because when I drink the water, it basically feels like I'm just pouring acid into my stomach and making it worse. So it legitimately burns when I drink water. So he said he's not surprised. He goes, it's actually really common. He goes, because you have so much stomach acid in your stomach that when you put water in it, it just makes it move up higher, so it hurts more. So he gave me something for the acid reflux or the indigestion. He gave me some Pepsid. My goodness. Excuse. This is what happens when we make videos first thing in the morning when you wake up. Gave me some of that and gave me the Miralax, and we're gonna hope it works. But yeah, he said everything looks good. Wants me to come back in 2 weeks for a Nuchal translucency ultrasound. I don't know much about the Nuchal translucency. I kind of know. I asked him what it was for, and it's basically to look at the back of the baby's neck right here, like the little folds, and see how translucent they are, I guess. I don't know, but he looks at the folds and then helps give warning signs towards Downs and like spinal cord problems like spina bifida. I informed him because I was like, well, maybe we don't really need that because they're tested embryos. He said we might not. He goes, if they've been tested, then more than likely there's no chromosomal abnormalities, so Down syndrome's off the table, but you cannot test for spina bifida. So spina bifida is essentially where, I don't know much about it, but my basic understanding is that it's something to do with how the spinal cord column develops and it doesn't close all the way. So when babies come out, when you see the nurse turning the baby over and looking at their backside right there at their butt crack, what we're actually looking for is a hole or a dimple. And if we see one, we notify the doctor, and the doctor tests to make sure that it's not open, because sometimes you can actually have what looks like, sorry about that glitch, I got a phone call. So like I was saying, you can actually have like a hole right there, and what it is, it can sometimes be open into the baby's spinal cord area. And so that's what this Nuchal translucency is looking for. And unfortunately with spinal bifida, there's no test for it until it happens. So PGD testing or whatever it is, the embryonic testing, doesn't test for it because it's a malformation in the forming of it. So, but he's going to text the IVF doctor, Dr. Shapiro, and see if, make sure that they were tested. I'm like 99.9% sure that they were tested, but you never know. Because that was a real important topic for me this time, was to make sure they had tested embryos. So, yeah, so I'm excited about that. And then he gave me, like I said, the Pepsid and whatnot, and we're just gonna keep going our thing. And best news ever, I'm so excited about it. So I've essentially been on, but I haven't been on a light duty status. So my initial instructions from the IVF clinic stated that after transfer, I could not lift anything over 35 pounds until I was cleared cleared to go to my obstetrician. I got it lifted for the purposes of work, because at my work I have my job requirement requires to be lifting at least 50 pounds. So they lifted it for me for work. Now, essentially it was a blanket lift. There was no, in this situation you can, but this situation you can't. So between the horrible side effects from the medication, making it so hard to breathe and reducing my cardio endurance, and that what they told me is use common sense. I have made some internal adjustments for it. So while I was at work, okay, I lifted if I needed to. I had help if I needed it. But I tended to slack off on lifting and running and doing those things while I was here. These are things I used to do on a regular basis before I got into surrogacy a couple years ago. And through the course of the 3 rounds of medication that I've done with this, I have just lost all of my cardio endurance. The first round of medications just killed me, and it was a fight to get it back. So then once I finally started to make progress on it, I started another round, and it was the same type of situation. And then I went into this attempt a little bit quicker than there was less time between second and third than there was between first and second. And so I didn't really get a chance to get back on board. So as such, I put on about 20 pounds, and the medications, just the extra water weight that they put on me, made me feel like an asthmatic trying to jaunt up the stairs every time I walked on a flat surface. But I also, because of the weightlifting restriction, made the decision that, okay, if I'm going to be lifting obviously far more than 35 pounds, because, dead weight with an epidural, no matter if you're 90 pounds or 300 pounds, is heavy. With that in mind, doing that in the capacity that I was doing it, and then thinking coming home and lifting, okay, I'll compromise, I guess, internally for me. It was no instructions through anybody, just myself. I decided to kind of put that stuff on the back burner. So I talked to OB yesterday, and he said, oh yeah, absolutely fine. He said I wouldn't be doing like clean jerks or anything real rough like that, but he said I can go back to my normal routine, which is what I was doing, just like deadlifts and squats and bicep curls and push-ups and plank work and leg work and stuff like that. And I informed him about the cardio endurance, and he told me that he's less worried about me lifting weights. He's more concerned that I've lost so much cardio endurance. So he said I should probably just be focusing on that. So I'm going to go to our local pool and get a pass for the pool so I can start there, because it's like 110 right now, and it's 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30. I'm not running in this. You got to be crazy. It's so hot outside, and it's only gonna get hotter. I mean, I live in the wrong part of the country, you guys. I am not a heat person. Arizona is hot. Let me see. I'll show you. Look at, I could legit get in that thing right now, and it would not be cold. It's so disgustingly hot outside. So, he said I could go ahead and go back to that and do my thing. So I'm excited. So, hey, yay! I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully we'll have more information about stuff and about nuchal translucency. I'll see you guys.